This is Justin on Monday, October 17th, 2022, looking at SPX again, and we were trading through the fibs again. So I put them back on the chart. Maybe I'll just leave them for tomorrow. Maybe we'll get into some more fibs. But this one, I just put this one back on, but we had some confluence with the fib drawn from this the bear candle here that opened up this sell-off, overlapping, I think, the 50% line with the 618 from that move. And then if you extend that, it's that extension that I'm looking at here. And I talked about this on this big rally day, and then had these drawn in here. We came right back into them on Friday, and then we gapped up this morning right about at the 100% mark, and then rallied right back into the fibs and just paused all day into the fibs. So it did kind of remind me of this day where we just kind of got stuck in the fib zone. Actually, if I take this back down, you can just kind of see, if I line this up here, you can see we're kind of pretty much in the fib zone here, and that's similar. I'm going to move it back. So, okay, take a mental snapshot of where this is with some candles down below the 382. I'm going to put that back up there. You can see here's some candles below the 1382. But pretty much today, so that's where the fibs come from. I'm just going to open this up. You can pause the video. These are the exact values I used: the high here, the low here, the exact time, the color. You can pause and grab all that. And then with these extensions, you can see that we're pretty much right up in here. I mean, it's crazy how close to 100% it was. We're above that purple line. We're below the that resistance zone, but this was pretty much, we just got stuck trading here. We got above the 618 extension, the 1618, and then came right back down into it. But then each time we tagged it, we sold off. Even here with a really great inverted hammer that should have sold off harder, didn't do that. We were making higher lows all day, relative highs all day, and so this is a really good resting day, inside day. I mean, the last 2 days have been massive. Big bull day, big bear day, and then it's an actual inside day. How the fibs look on the daily here. So I guess maybe short it at the 618 after it put in this resistance, maybe shorted here, but then where's the target? I would have thought the target would need to be the 382. It didn't get there. That's what I was looking for when I was shorting it. I was trying to just take this down, and when I saw it wasn't pushing further down than this low, I'm like, all right, let me get out of this for a small gain. Completely turned around and rallied back up to this level, and I lost an R by the time the options sucked out that premium. This is the 3700 call that expired today. You can see we actually put in a low mid-morning that was below the open price. That was really the only place I saw that could have been kind of like a blind buy. Like, you missed this entry at like 3. Pre-market, it was doing some 3s, even down to 2. Maybe try to buy through there during the day, and that ended up being kind of the lower end of that double bottom. Just buying a 3 and a stop at 2, that would have been a 2-3 hour gain going from 3 up to 5 or 6. Give you some other opportunities to do that again later, buying at 3, but then the target wasn't there. It didn't even get back up to 5. I guess maybe it did here, but that's really all I saw to just kind of scalp something. And then this is the 3650 puts. These are just losing value all day long. At that first point where we had that that breakout and immediately reversed, we had a couple of really small candles here, right about 5. That had a really nice move. This, I meant to squeeze this down a bit, so it's just hard to see these levels. Let me get rid of the high there. Okay, this is easier to see. Okay, so buying blindly at 5 or then 6, something like that, like trying to get an entry where you've got a $100 risk. It was still tough here, and you would have had to call the reversal. And then if you had shorted at this same level, I'm sorry, let me say that differently. If you had shorted this level by buying a put over here, you're not going to look to buy it at the $5 put price because it came back up to about the same level. The put should be worth less. But here's the put, it's worth much less. In this case, it came all the way down to 3, went from 3 up to 5, but what would have told you to buy at 3? Or maybe here with this hammer, it's a nice range on a hammer, could have gotten it set up like 350 by 250. The target would have had to been 5 though, and so that's not even a 2R gain. So it was a little bit tough. This was just a very inside day, and it it just traded in the fibs. So, you know, you just got to trade from one level to another. It would have worked a number of times to trade this 1618 down to the 150. You could have done that repeatedly and then back up 150 to 1618. That would have worked multiple times. But with options, it was a much harder day, just a sideways day. So I think we're going to get a bigger move up. So this, let me screw this back down. So we're right below this resistance. I think we're going to either push up into this and have a hard sell off if we can open up below, kind of like what we've done. We've done this a couple times. We gapped down, we opened here, we sold off hard, we gapped up, ran up into this price, sold out hard. If we can gap up to here, I think there's a chance we could do the same thing where we sell back down. But if we gap up above this, I think we'll do what I said on Friday's video. I think we get another island reversal through here. We got to gap up above it, and then we can have a really nice rally. Now, remember, it is a bullish candle today, bullish retest gap. But if we can get above the bears here and get above all 5 of these bearish candles through here, I think we have a chance that we could do something like this, where we can push up higher. We'll have this 21 here below us at that point if we can gap up. I think it's going to be a surprise that, to the bears that we're rallying so much, but the bulls, I think we just need that bounce for the bulls. Even though we had a close on the weekly below the 200, I think some bullishness is going to come in, and the more bulls that come in, then the harder the rollover is going to be. But I've got some green lines up here, some targets. We've got the 100 way up here. I don't know that we're going to get there. I guess we'll see how that goes. But really, I'm looking for the same thing. If we open here, sell down, open and run up to there, sell down. But if we can open above it, I think we could rally. Even if we open up like this candle and sell back down into this level, look to have a bounce off of this. So here's the range, and I keep extending it. So 37.10 to 37.30 basically is pretty much the range. And that was drawn off of the opening candle of this day. So that was 923. What is the opening candle? Let's see. Yeah, so it was this candle. Yep, that opening candle, pretty much that. Yeah, I guess I've got the high a little bit higher. But basically the range in this opening candle, and then kind of this relative highs and breakdown after that really just stayed as some really strong resistance. We did trade up through it this day. That's the only time we've actually traded through this range. So until we do that again, I'm not expecting that to happen again. I'm just looking left to see, okay, what are we more likely to do? Gap up, retest into it, a gap up to it. Well, I'll say for over here, a gap up to it and sell down. But I'm not expecting a way to sell through that unless we have so much momentum to push us up to that level. We also have that purple line in here, kind of giving us some more target to run into it. So, and then if we do get above, oops, didn't do that. If we do get above this, I can extend the fibs and see, okay, where could that actually go? Like how much further could that go? Let me just turn on a 2.32 and just see where that goes. Okay, so that's at that level, so that's like 37.40. Let's turn on another one. Let's go with 2.5. And then we'll do one more at 2.618. Just see where these all land. Oops, didn't change the color. Those are all pretty close to this this resistance zone. So I put well and see. Okay, so that's a little further away, 37.84. So we've been in that area back through here. So can I extend to the left? How did those interact? So the first one that caught my attention is the 50%. Let me zoom in on this. So the 50% line really worked nicely here on this sell-off that day. The resistance was around the 300 level. Really nice inverted hammer there and an evening star reversal right there. So we've traded in the range of these prices before. I'm going to put one more on here just because I'm curious now. If we do 3, 2, does that get us into the high? Almost to the high. Okay. So what price was that? It's not saying the price. There we go. 3812. Okay. So I've got, kind of the ranges color coded. So where we've interacted with, it's been in between the 0 and 100 was down in here. This is where we set it up. I'm going to turn off the left extension because this is harder. Okay, so this is where we set this up based on this stuff. We've interacted with this level already on that rally day and again today. And then we've interacted with some of these prices going back to this island reversal here. So if we can get above this resistance zone, currently resistance zone, and hold it as a support zone, look for some levels in here that we'll interact with and see if we can get a good rally going, a good bounce off of the 382 or the 50%, and then a good target would be the 300%. And that's similar to what we've done up here already. I'm going to extend this to the left again and just look at something. So we were a little bit off. Let's see. This was a really good one right in this day. I know this is looking back in the past, but this is a really good day where these really all crossed each other, the 50% here with the purple line. And then we gapped up into the resistance zone, turned into support zone, and then ran up right through those levels into the 300% mark. And this is all like looking back using these levels. So came back into the 618, back up to the 300. Could probably do another fib. This is probably about 50% between these two. This is a really nice resistance here. The 618 held resistance, and then we sold back down into the support zone and bounced. And then it was old resistance, new support right through here. So that's where it's like, okay, even in hindsight, where I've got the fib drawn is working into the past. So that gives me more confidence. Man, look at this. This is just giving me a lot more confidence that if we can get above this resistance zone, we're going to run into these levels. There'll be some really good targets. Look for them to hold as strong resistance, strong support, that kind of thing. So I'm going to keep these on my chart. We can always turn this left extension on again if it's going to help us kind of set something up. But these are the levels. I just did it again. These are the levels I'll be looking for if we can have a move up in here tomorrow. If we can get some sort of a gap up through this zone. If not, if we open down here, then look for these same levels today again. And if somehow we do start to do a bigger sell-off, we've got the levels back down here as well. Like we're going up through on the rally day. So we push right through these, and then we didn't even get back down to them. But you can kind of squint and see the 100% line looked like a little bit of inverted head and shoulders, and came back and tagged it, and then we're off. So anyway, a lot more talking about fibs than I expected, but it does show that there's some levels in here that are working really well. Hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.